Hi, Coco. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. I am so excited about this campaign and Bel Air and your album. You're just killing the game. I've been following your career um since like the Disney Channel days. So I'm just so excited for you and this is just so fun.
Thank you. That's so sweet. I appreciate that.
So this campaign with Pure Leaf is all about setting boundaries. No is a full sentence, that whole idea that can be so difficult sometimes for some reason.
Mhm.
How does sticking to boundaries in your own life benefit those other areas of your life that you now have a little bit more flexibility in?
I think sticking to boundaries has always helped me stay true to my why. I think, especially in an industry where you want to prove yourself, you want all of the opportunities. Sometimes it feels like they're limited, these chances you get. So it's hard sometimes to stick to your boundaries. But I think for me, it always helps me when I'm true to myself because it helps me to remember why I even started in this industry in the first place and who I want to impact and how I want to be represented, the legacy that I want to leave. My boundaries kind of reminds me of that intention that I had ever since I was a little kid coming into this.
Yeah. And you've also kind of on the flip side, you've talked about working on your album at the same time you were filming Bel Air. How
Mm-hmm.
do you approach balancing the idea of boundaries when also going hard after what you want?
I think the balance is ever changing because there are times where you have to put on your business hat and maybe you had a different plan of where you were going to go that evening or what your week was going to look like. Um,
Hmm.
so it's really hard to find a consistent balance when I feel like my life in this industry is so inconsistent.
Mm,
I think for me, the best guide is my intuition. If I
mm,
feel like, okay, this would be a great opportunity, but I have to sacrifice maybe something that I needed for my mental health or an important relationship that I already had promised something to, then for me, it's kind of like, what does my intuition have to say? It kind of helps me to find that balance in an ever changing career field.
yeah. And I know we kind of briefly mentioned Bel Air, but your character is so confident. And you've talked a lot about maintaining your own confidence and kind of the knowledge that you are where you're supposed to be.
Mhm.
How else has Hillary impacted you? And have you learned anything else from the experience of playing her that you've brought back into your own life?
I think, especially with season two, I've learned a lot more about being vulnerable and being a boss woman, but then also how do you be that same woman in a relationship and what's important to you when you do get into a relationship. I think playing Hillary and kind of watching her try to balance her relationship with Ivy and running the house and now her relationship with Jazz and then being public, it kind of has taught me to, I guess, question my values too and look at my life in the bigger scheme of things too because I don't want to be unsure of the person that I'm with. I don't want to have to deal with that Hillary situation where I'm not sure if I want that person and people to know I'm with that person. I want to make sure that everything
Mm-hmm.
I do is intentional and authentic. So it's kind of taught me, I guess, to think about that part of my life as well and where my life will go and what's important to me in the person that I take with me on that journey.
Yeah. So pivoting a little bit, talking about your album, What I Didn't Tell You, it's phenomenal. My favorite song right now is No Chaser. I love the concept of the song. And you have talked so much about um, like commenting on all of these different things about music evolving and music being fluid and whether R&B is dead and all these different conversations happening in the industry. But if there's anything that being a part of Gen Z has taught me, it's that we're constantly pushing boundaries and we're constantly reinventing ourselves. And the album feels so familiar, yet so new at the same time. And I'd love to hear your approach to storytelling in 2023, if there's anything in particular that you see as carving your space out for yourself, or if you just kind of go and see how the music evolves on its own. I'd love to hear your approach to that.
Honestly, my approach is it really goes back to my intuition because I feel like there are a lot of times where I can look like left and right and see what the other girls are doing, and then maybe that would affect what I'm doing. But I think for me, I do have to kind of practice my boundaries because I do see sometimes something that's working for somebody else, and there's this pressure to also do that as well, to like
Yeah.
also jump on that bandwagon. But that's where I kind of lean back to like my boundaries and the things that I know I have to stick to, and being fearless. Being fearless really does help me with my creative process because this is a new generation, and some things that worked back in the day will not work today. And I
Mm-hmm.
know my fans, they know me. So I have to sometimes be fearless and stick to my boundaries and choose a path that may be unconventional, but it feels right to me.
What do you hope people take away when they listen to your music?
I hope they take away self love. I hope they take away honesty. I hope that they like me as a person and want to continue supporting and following my journey. Um, I think for me, I always want to leave my my fans with something to uplift themselves, like to speak highly of themselves. I mean, all of
Mhm.
these songs, they have an air of don't play with me. Don't play with my time. I'm
Yeah.
valuable. I want big things for myself. I want the best for myself. And if you're not bringing the best to the table, then we don't go together.
Mhm.
We don't make sense together.
Yeah.
I want to leave them.
And yeah. And between your music and television and even your fashion presence, you have such a beautiful and consistent output. What do you do to kind of fill your own cup, and how are you being inspired, or how have you been inspired recently?
I really do prioritize filling my own cup because I think I did a lot of people pleasing when I was, you know, in a different headspace, with
Mm-hmm.
a scarcity mindset with these things. But really, that's why I'm so even excited to be doing this Pure Leaf campaign because I know for myself that there are times where I don't do a certain job or opportunity because it doesn't fill me up. It drains me.
Mm.
And there's a lot of people on my team and a lot of chefs, a lot of cooks in the kitchen. And I have to be courageous sometimes and say no. And of course, I do it in a kind
Mm.
way. That's why I love the Subtly Sweet campaign because it is so similar to how I have to be as a businesswoman so that I don't lose myself in this industry. Sometimes you do have to disappoint people and maybe they won't get it, but it's not for them to get. It's for your own peace of mind.
Yeah. So for this last little bit, I have a bunch of just kind of fun questions you can answer as long or as short as you'd like.
Okay.
But I am obsessed with the subtly sweet suggester. I think that is so fun. What is your mantra or piece of advice that has impacted the way that you live?
Man, gratitude,
Hmm.
everything. I have had so many times where I'm like, "Ugh, why? Why? And I wish I could just go back and be like, there's something in this. I'm telling you, seriously, just enjoy the moment. You're putting too much pressure on yourself and you're too focused on what everyone else is doing. There's a reason for this. I'm from the future, so I can't tell you, but trust me. I mean, I'm here to tell you, trust me. And then I'd like go back into like the future.
I love mixing tea and lemonade. Have you found a drink that you love adding the tea to, or do you just drink it straight out of the bottle?
Honestly, something so funny that I do with my Pure Leaf, like with the lower sugar iced tea, I like to sing and I have to like warm up my vocals, right? So I like
Hmm.
hot drinks. So I'm the type that will drink tea any time of the day, but it's always gonna be hot. It could be
Yeah.
like summer, it could be 100 degrees, but I just love hot tea. So I'm probably gonna heat it up.
That I've never thought about doing that. Wait, I'm gonna do that too. That's a great
Then
idea.
you don't have to wait for the tea to steep. It's like right there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. What is your go-to breakfast?
Go-to breakfast would probably be I'm more on the salty, savory side. So omelet, breakfast sandwich, Or like simple eggs, turkey bacon. Yeah.
What is a beauty product that makes you feel confident?
A beauty product that makes me feel confident. Hmm. Well, no beauty product makes me feel confident. I'm confident. But if I had to go without any of them, I would not want to go without my brows done. So I'm gonna say a brow pencil because I just feel like sometimes it's really giving Shrek.
What is your favorite way to unwind?
Favorite way is being with my friends or family, eating ramen and watching The Office.
Oh, I love The Office.
Mhm.
And finally, what is your favorite candle scent?
Vanilla. I love vanilla and I love anything
Yes.
edible like cookies, chocolate. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for
Thank
chatting with me.
you. Thanks for having me. Have a good rest of your day.
Yes, you too.